Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you know how much I love you. I want to introduce you to now someone we'll bring up on stage. The secreted resin of babeism, the Ayatollah of flat Coca-Cola, Francis McDormand of pesto ravioli. This is none other than Honey Boo Boo.
Welcome to Cinema Gulp. I'm Ben.
And I'm John. And this is our Gulp review of A Star is Born.
Several iterations of remakes over the years. 1937, which is best known as the talkie of the group. And then I want to say in 1954, we had Judy Garland and George Mason, with Judy Garland playing against type as a sober person.
And then we get to the 70s version with
Barbara Streisand and Chris Christopherson. And that one was renamed A Porn Star is Born. And now we have Bradley Cooper, who starred and directed it, co-starring Britney Spears. I thought it was Kesha. Lady Gaga joins the pantheon of stars who have played the star. And speaking of stars, John, we have a special guest host today to review A Star is Born with us. None other than Miss Saigon herself, Monette!
Tell me something, boy. Aren't you tired trying to fill that void? I like your nose.
How about mine?
Oh yeah, that's good.
So Monette has been enjoying Cinema Gulp since the beginning, but this is our first time actually being able to come join us on the show. We're really excited to have you here.
Well, not excluding the fact that she's a dear friend of mine, but she is also a singer, and a damn brilliant singer at that. The Broadway second national tour of Miss Saigon. So what better person to have review A Star is Born than an actual badass singer?
I played one of the Vietnamese prostitutes and also a refugee that tries to get onto a helicopter unsuccessfully.
Which one was more fun?
I always enjoy playing the Vietnamese prostitute myself more.
Yeah, we did get a note though when we were in Hawaii, because we were all out in the sun. You only really have to do three hours of a show. And so we did get a note on stage that said, "You cannot be this tan. And please don't eat so much. You're refugees."
Wow, they really wanted you to get into the part.
Yeah, exactly.
That's Broadway. That's Hollywood for
I
you.
hope, needless to say, you were paid well.
Oh, extra well. It was fantastic.
But you couldn't spend that money on food or booze.
Oh, we did.
So how long did you do that for anyway?
About 2 years.
2 years? Nice. One of
Yeah.
the best times of your life?
Yeah, absolutely. We went all around the country, and we spent 2 months in Hawaii.
That's awesome.
So paid vacation, per diem, you know,
Excellent.
all the dolphins you could swim with.
I don't know if I ever asked you if you started singing at a really young age, or did you get into it
No,
maybe
I
in
was
high school?
I was old. I was 14 years old.
Oh, wow.
That is
And-
kind of considered old before you know you have a voice, right? Like,
Yeah, I never did anything like that. And then I heard an Amy Grant song that my church was singing, and I said, "Oh, music isn't boring."
Did you join the choir first, or did you
No,
take
I did
singing lessons? Or
singing lessons, musical theater in high school, college, and then just kept it up and did it in church, sang in church, and then I auditioned in the cattle call for Miss Saigon, and they said, "Oh, you're really great. You should learn dancing now. We'll put you on the short list, learn dancing by the time that we call you." And I thought they were lying to me, so I didn't do either.
how did you balance the church singing with your heavy metal band Denial? That you told me about. She said she was in a heavy metal band.
No, I wasn't in a heavy metal band.
She's I don't know. I think she's covering it up.
No, I do like heavy metal.
I think
though.
she's denying it. Is what
Let's talk about the high points first.
I thought the writing was really good. It was a nice, different take from the other movies that I'd seen, where it was a lot more entertainment. And this one was centering more on the relationship and the love story. And the music business was kind of in it, but not a lot.
Yeah, it wasn't in your face too much, which I was
No.
happy about. Yeah, I mean, you had your stereotypical scumbag record producer, but he wasn't overused, and He was,
Thankfully.
to a good effect, very slimy and played very well, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly thought it was going to be a little bit more of that inside the music industry type of film. Maybe even showing her in the recording studio a lot more, and like showing her writing songs and kind of them crafting songs together. I just thought it was maybe going to focus a little bit more on the music
hoping
industry.
for it, just a
but,
little
but
bit
it doesn't.
more.
It's definitely more of a relationship film.
Well, I was like, why are we doing this again? This is what I was really afraid of. It's already been done 3 other times. I was like, what more do we have to see? But I guess we're trying to make it into this generation's.
I think that's
version.
this is that story that you can kind of retell per generation, right? Or at least not every 10 years, but like every 50 years or something, because it does it can be relevant again as the industry is so different. But I don't think this movie really talked a lot about the industry of music today, about how, if anything, it kind of glamorizes the way it used to be, where you can be super rich and famous in the music industry and still be a drunk if you only have to rely on your talents. That's not really the case anymore, I don't think. You know, I think a lot of it is now you have to sell your brand, and you have to make money on tour and through merchandise, and no one really gives a shit about your passion songs.
Yeah.
What do you think about the singing of? Let's go with Bradley Cooper first.
Oh, Bradley Cooper's so much better than Ryan Gosling. So much better.
I will second that. But that's not hard though.
No, but I thought it was really great, and he spent months with a vocal coach trying to lower his voice down. I love baritone voices.
Is that what he has in this?
Yeah, I think he was trying to go for the Sam Elliott voice,
Totally,
right?
yeah. I mean, his character. At first, I was a little put off by the way he sounded, but then I got into that. It kind of seemed like he was putting on an act to sound like a Sam Elliott or the Dude a little bit.
Oh, you mean when he's just delivering lines?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Not when he's
when
singing.
he's talking.
No, I know people like that. He was tapping into that kind of person.
Yeah. And as the film progresses, his performance, you know, I got used to it, and his performance was excellent. I mean, that was definitely
Excellent.
I think Sam Elliott was really good in the film as well. I think he's deserving of a supporting nomination.
Me too.
Probably. And Lady Gugu, she was good. She's good.
I liked her.
I liked her too, but I'm not sure if I'm sold on her being an Oscar nominee yet. But I thought she did a really good job.
Is that
Lady
just
Gaga
is
is the
that
most
the way
amazing
she
singer.
sounds though? Because when we watched it, she starts out one way and then she becomes kind of like a
Pop
Make
star.
her this weird pop star.
Yeah,
is she
that
more
was-
like that or more like the other
I
one?
felt like she was turning into Lady Goop de Goop for that. So it was going from her being an unknown to her being herself in real life.
That's what I was thinking.
I was like, she's doing a little less acting, but it was still great because as a performer, she's fantastic.
Yeah.
So it was still a great performance all the way throughout.
Why? Like, I don't think you should start throwing awards at her. And here's the thing. I think Lady Gaga's acting performance is as good as Bradley Cooper's directing performance, which means it's consistent, it's competent, it's maybe a little bit better than you thought someone could do for their first real big thing, but I don't necessarily think it deserves any awards. My favorite scene in the movie is probably her, I don't want to say it's burlesque or what, is that what you call it?
Oh, the drag show?
That her scene in that song she sings was chill inducing. Like, it was so good.
Oh, yeah, for
That
sure.
was so good. And that was such a great introduction. I mean, we had seen her before in
Yeah.
the movie, but that was such a great introduction to how they meet each other.
Well, then it's a nice way to bring her out of where she is as her normal persona in real life and bring her down to something as
Yeah, you
another
see that
character.
she's a performer, but she only does it in these small spaces up to that point.
Yeah.
I love the scene where he brings her out on stage for the first time. I want to get your thoughts on that scene.
That was
because-
so realistic. It was the best because she's coming in. She has no idea. She's met this guy the night before. She gets on a plane, which is ridiculous. She goes over on the stage, and then he says, "And I want you to sing the song that you sang to me in the parking lot." And she's like, "I'm sorry, what? We didn't go over all of that." And just the fear of being in front of thousands of people. I would have
Freak
felt
out.
nauseous and intimidated and scared, shitless. And then he's bringing you on stage, and she's like, "I don't even know what you're doing. I don't know what we're singing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I know what I'm doing. Did
Yeah.
I warm up my voice? Who is
Yeah.
this guy? If I don't do this, am I going to lose everything and miss the one opportunity I have?" I loved the part when she was singing and she just put her hands over her face like, "I can't even believe that I'm here."
Mm-hmm.
That was so realistic.
Yeah,
Loved
well,
it.
like you're saying, the way her character evolves within that scene, like you see her come out of her shell in that 2-minute segment or whatever,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
is pretty cool. Like that really stood out as one of the best parts of her performance for me as
Me
as
too.
an actress. When she sings, it often reminded me that I was watching Lady
Gaga.
Gaga. And it only because her voice is so distinct as
Yeah.
who she is, you know, with the songs that are already on the radio, it kind of reminds you you're watching a pop star in the moments when she's singing. But as an actress, when she's just playing the character and they're having their their relationship moments. She did a good job. She did
Did
a
you
really
feel
good
like
job.
you saw her poker face?
Can't read that, no he can't read my poker face.
Y'all kind of liked Kelly Underwood, aka Patty Cakes, aka Kesha Gabba Gabba, aka Nosy
Killer
Spice.
P.
Missy Gobble Glove.
Nosy Spice. She definitely could join the Spice Girls as Nosy Spice. I love the humor in the movie.
I love their relationship.
Their relationship was good. Well, so my favorite part of this movie was the first hour. For a good hour, it was this great one night that they spend that seemed very believable.
big conversation
the way they were
over,
thrown together. I told you after watching the movie, it felt like watching Before Sunset, which is an amazing movie, a great screenplay. The way how natural this relationship evolves over one night and seems very believable, the conversations that people have. And I felt this movie was doing a really good job of kind of capturing that feeling for about an hour.
Yeah.
Then she's brought on stage to sing a song that they had barely talked about in a parking lot, and she does it flawlessly with all the right hits of the chorus.
That's
and
how
things.
good she is.
So, okay, if I'm supposed to believe that's how talented she is, okay, great. And asking you, as somebody who really knows music, like, does that seem believable that somebody who understands music that well could kind of come up and do that performance without really knowing, have never done it before, and not even knowing the lyrics that this guy added to the song that she wrote? Like, I don't know.
What do you think?
I like to think that parking lot scene took hours and hours, like almost the whole day or something, you know?
Yeah.
And so they probably like sang the entire song at some point off screen, but we only have 5 hours to watch this movie. Well, you know? So,
I get it at some point.
so it's like, but I think that if it was her song, that she probably sang it to him, and he's good enough to have been able to arrange the music, and he's supposedly a genius at all of this stuff, that he could have done it. And she would have known the skeleton of it, that there's verse, bridge, verse, refrain, whatever. That she could have done it, and that anything else, like there was a part where she starts la 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 lying.
Yes.
So I was like, maybe you could have argued.
That
She
was
didn't know,
part-
like,
That's filler,
I don't know
though,
where
like,
this is going,
When
but
someone
it always...
tosses a song to me, I just go, Scooby-Doo
I've
Bop!
sung lots of times where you don't know what you're singing. Like, you know you're going to sing the standard jazz
Yeah.
song. You know you're going to sing it. You don't know if they're going to go to an instrumental afterwards or if they're going to go back to the bridge. You don't know. And so all you do is you're singing, and then you look at the other person, and the other person just goes like... And that's it. That's all you have.
Or
you say, how are we ending this song?
Yeah, I
There's
get
no
that,
saying
Peter.
that they weren't Wu-Tanging it either. Like, where they're just like, hey, suck up, shouting shit out, and somehow it just worked out, you know? Let's talk about other characters in this movie.
Oh, like Sam Elliott?
Sure. Or Jack White.
Jack White. Yeah, I heard he was supposed to be in the movie, that he might have been cast as Jack White. But the movie people didn't like it, that they really wanted Bradley Cooper to be in it.
Well, he was a damn good Elvis.
There's two things you need to know. I'm the king. And number two is, look out, man! Look at that, they're coming at you. You see that? It's called karate, man.
There's one thing I noticed is that there's a lot of comedians in this movie. I don't know why.
You got Andrew Dice Clay.
Who's
You have-
awesome.
Who's
Awesome.
great in this
Fantastic.
Then you have Dave Chappelle in this really great one scene.
In one scene.
and then you have Eddie Griffin who just shows up.
Doesn't,
in
like,
the
has a
camera.
line, I think. And he has one line. I don't know why those guys were in there, but it was fun to see them, especially Andrew Dice Clay.
Who's
He's a
always
really
so
good actor.
natural and so, yeah.
I didn't recognize him, honestly.
When he's not supposed to be
old
playing,
now.
you know, a douchebag like his Dice character, he's a good actor. And
He is.
He can really sell heart, I think, in film.
But I liked Chappelle's scene too, because you're never introduced to who this person is, and then he just shows up, and he's kind of great. You know, he's like an older, gruffier, like Dave Chappelle, and he was great in that role. I'm guessing they're like best friends
Yeah,
at one
maybe
point in
from-
their
Yeah,
lives.
it seemed
childhood or something,
or even bandmates, because his house is filled with guitars.
Yeah.
So I felt like he
Yeah.
was in his band at some point in the
Yeah.
past. This movie did not have good visual transitions, in my opinion. This is why my knock on him as a director. I think he captured the performances really well, but cinematically, the movie fumbles the passage of time. Big
I
time.
agree.
You
I
don't
agree.
really feel the passage of time the way it's
You don't
presented
know
in
the
film.
passage of time.
You don't know the
It's
passage of
supposed to be
time.
6 months, a year.
Just by the amount of makeup Lady Gaga has on.
She was
Yeah.
never wearing a meat suit, which I was a little bit bummed out about. I was waiting for. I thought when he pulled out that steak at the end, it was going to go on her face. but I guess
Post-credit
it didn't.
stinger.
We didn't stick around. I knew there was something there.
Yeah, I guess we have to talk about the music because it was such an integral part of the characters' development and their being, and made this a really great musical. And
All original songs, right?
I
for
believe
this
they were all
movie?
original songs. Yeah, by
I
Lady.
loved some of the songs.
Oh, I loved it, and it was perfect to set as a musical in that every song that they sang related to the scene that had either happened before or was going to happen afterwards.
Really?
So you could see that the
Like
demise.
lyrically?
Lyrically, yeah. So there's that one.
Like the one, like, stop looking at my ass, stop texting me so much.
God,
that was my favorite.
That's
That
your
was
favorite?
That was the
That was
part
the
where John
funniest
and I were
part.
like, how did she turn into that? Is that a song that
That's
she
why-
wrote?
That's why I was like, I don't even blame Bradley Cooper for taking a drink. She's losing her voice, and I think that's what was Bradley Cooper's reason for drinking
Which
after
is
that. You know,
kind of the theme of the movie. Really, the movie lacked tension.
Well,
for
and I
me.
think that's
one of my
because
big
it's-
problems with this movie was
well, I liked
don't
all the
feel
ups
like
and
there was-
downs, and I felt like there were quiet moments.
I did
She
too.
has very
wow moments
few
and-
ups and downs other than kind of dealing with him. It's all about him, even though the film is kind of supposed to be her story more than his, I would think.
Yeah.
But really all the conflict comes on his side.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And
She
it's
kind of
there
does-
right from the beginning. Like, I don't think there's enough change throughout the film.
No,
with
she
either of their
never
characters.
has inner conflict. Even when she changes her style of music and starts becoming more poppy, she seems kind of okay with everything. And he, being such a good guy, he's having all these inner conflict things inside. It's brewing in him. He hates it. But then he just, look at the picture of you on that billboard. Take it all in, honey. Because he wants to be supportive. So she doesn't ever have that inner conflict because she's like, well, he's okay with it.
Well,
But then he's just
ever,
like guzzling pills by the bottle full.
They don't ever give the story to her
No,
at the end. It's
no.
always it seems like it's more about Bradley Cooper's character rather
he's
than,
a
so it's like
s-
A Star Is Born and it's here, and she's going on this meteoric rise, and we're still here with him, looking at her
and it's
rather
unfortunate
than seeing it
because
from her
he
perspective.
is the
Yeah.
better
That's true.
he is the better, more compelling character, and that's unfortunate.
And the
'cause it
director
should have
and the
been.
writer.
And yeah,
I think-
right.
I think that's one reason
You
why.
think that's on purpose, do you?
Yeah, that's right.
And Bradley Cooper's like, let's get the worst fucking actress ever to play this person's scene. Lady Gaga. Let's
Some
see,
chick with a big nose who's never acted before.
yeah, let's say we got Lady Gaga. We can get Britney Spears in there. We can get Aguilera in there.
But yeah,
None of them can act, right?
Oh man,
Come on, have you seen Crossroads?
she was there for singing.
Yeah.
And to hear the voice and to get the musical parts of the musical in there.
But she nails. She definitely
She
Yeah.
does nail, but that's another weird thing. I enjoyed his musical numbers so much more than hers.
Oh, it's great.
And his guitar playing.
Yeah.
I love
That he
him riffing
learned
on the
for
guitar.
that role.
style,
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah.
Because that was
Because
some
that
of
style and my other favorite scene in the movie is where he pisses
the
himself.
Grammys. The Grammys
Oh
is
my!
an excellent
I really
thing.
thought that when I came on here that you guys would piss on the stage.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
I just did. Standing in a puddle.
Well, my favorite part was that they picked this genre, that they didn't pick like
They didn't pick
hip-hop
like
or-
shit kicker country either. It's like more like rock.
but like the way it was back in the 50s, where they were trying to tell a story
Yeah.
rather than just talk about whose car I can beat up. With that kind of music, it's all about storytelling.
Yeah.
And so it was the perfect way to say what every character was feeling and
Yeah,
how that
it really was. Yeah,
going
they're
on.
kind of talking
They couldn't have
to
done it.
each other.
Yeah, they
through
couldn't
their
have done
music.
it if it was rap
There's some
music.
really nice bits of dialogue in the film that feel realistic. The conversations feel realistic.
I love the first, the one you keep going back to. That opening night they have is a brilliantly acted, directed, and
Classic
written
scene.
scene.
Classic.
Yeah. These remakes, they always have sort of carte blanche to start out being different, but always sort of fall back into, well, now we have to follow the original's story. So you do notice second halves of remakes really going, well, we have to hit this, 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 and this. Because it starts out, there may be a scene similar to how they get to know each other and all those other iterations, but
That's what I want to find out.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how they
yeah,
start.
I want to hear
essentially.
how two people in the 30s talk to each other.
Because I think, not having seen all the other films, my understanding is they all kind of end in a similar way. So if
Yeah.
you've seen the other films, you might have an idea of how this one's going to wrap up.
I could see each one of them progressively getting better on how the woman is treated.
Sure.
Like, the
Certainly.
first one, he's like, "Hey, dame, go get me a pack of cigarettes," and
But there was some nice dialogue in the film where they talk about, it's Sam Elliott talking to someone, I forget, I think Goop, about songwriting and music and what Bradley Cooper's character
Oh,
thought
that was the
of
perfect scene.
music
Yeah,
about
yeah.
the 12 notes arranged within the octaves, and it's just how the songwriter arranges them that makes it different, but it's really the same song being told over and over again. And that, to me, in that moment was kind of a meta moment, talking about how this story is the same story told over and over again, but just, slight variations, even to the point that not that there's been 4 A Star Is Borns, there's also La La Land, there's The Artist.
Glitter.
Glitter?
Yeah, glitter. How about La Bamba?
Yes.
Buddy Holly's story. Precious.
Selena?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
I think I would give it an 8.
Nice.
Because
That's a strong score.
John is always very negative on his Cinema Gulp reviews, and I have noted that. So I would like to bump the average up for that.
There you go.
But I wouldn't put it on a 10 or 11, which is West Side Story, Singing in the Rain, Princess Bride. Clueless. I wouldn't put it on that level, but it was
R.I.P.
incredibly
William
good.
Goldman. Sorry.
Oh, I was so sad about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I thought this film had great relationships, great chemistry among all of the entire cast, all the characters. I love the ups and downs, the quiet moments, the singing, the music, the score. It was just spot on. I mean, they did a really fantastic job. It was a musical that La La Land wishes it could have been.
And I really did enjoy this movie quite a bit. And Bradley Cooper's performance for me is what elevates my score a lot, because I do think he's probably the best male performance of the year so far. No one's beating Toni Collette as far as just overall performance by a person this year from Hereditary, but Bradley Cooper's the best guy performance for me. I think he worked his ass off in this movie, and he deserves all the credit he's getting for it, because yeah, it is the craftsmanship perfection, of course not, but it's a crowd pleaser, and I think that's what it's trying to be. It's trying to make people feel a certain way in the theater, and it definitely does that. So I'm gonna go 7.5 gulps for myself.
Nice. Bradley Cooper, as you say, is definitely one of the strongest male lead performances of the year. It was a performance-driven film, and I enjoyed that aspect of it all the way to the end. I had some issues with the storytelling along the way. I thought there was a lack of tension along the way, a lack of change in some of the characters along the way. So as a complete film, I think it kind of falters a little bit in the second half. In my personal opinion on that. But it's still, as you said, it's a crowd pleaser. It's enjoyable. I was still entertained even in the later half. The music didn't connect with me as much, but I'm going to listen to the soundtrack separate from the film, and maybe some of those songs will hit me a little bit more. Like I said, I liked the lyrics in the songs. I just didn't necessarily connect with the music itself. So yeah, my score for, what is this fucking movie? A Star is Born. My score for A Star is Born, the fourth iteration of it, is going to be a 6.25.
Oh.
That's pretty good. For John, that's pretty goddamn good.
That was our review for A Star is Born. Hope you enjoyed it. Please leave us some comments in the comment section below.
And we want to thank Monette for being our special guest singer/reviewer. Thank you so much. Come back, please.
I'm always happy to be the diversity hire.
Yes, we are too. She is our new Ahura.
We need a bit more color on this show, don't we?
Two pale-ass fucking men. Two Harvey Weinsteins up here.
No.
Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Look for us under Cinema Gulp. This is John.
This is Ben.
This is Monette.
We drink your cinema.
Oh, John?
Yes?
Just wanted to get another look at you.
I drink it up!
So you wanna be a rock superstar and live large, a big house and 5 cars.